actually stay there for you and be there for you. And to me, it sounds like she was probably used to men that didn't treat her very well.
I can tell you that wholeheartedly. Even to my raps, a friend of mine was like, "Yo, we heard enough of the school stuff. You got to go back to the streets and get it popping. Tell them stories." But at the end of the day,
then
school
that I'd be married to like a whole ass pediatrician sitting outside in our backyard by the fire he built me, drinking an old fashioned, waiting for him to come downstairs to join me because he's putting our kids to bed. Marry the nerd. A couple of days ago, I accidentally went viral for a video I did last week telling women to marry a nerd. I also made the cardinal mistake of admitting to having sex before I met my husband. I'm guilty of the exact same thing their mother is, having sex. I'm not guilty of having sex with a dumbass. That's true, but still. In my video, all I was trying to do was tell women to not have sex with the type of men who produced the dudes in my comments. And men from all across the internet are making think pieces about it. I'm a slut, I'm a skank, I got trains run on me, my husband was my last option, I settled, he settled, may this love never find me, that kind of thing. And before I met my husband, I used to eat men like that, the ones in my comments, alive for funsies. And I know the joke, oh, you used to swallow dick. Oh, God, make better jokes. You guys have been telling the same fucking jokes since like the Salem witch trial. Like, in The Wizard of Oz, when the lion tries to scare Dorothy and she like goes like, what the fuck are you doing? And he goes, oh, I'm actually like, I just need some courage. Like, a lot of you are just trying to figure out how to be a man. And that's how it comes through. Like, you're really that mad that you took time out from your job at Publix to do a 45-second think piece on a married woman.
So
that's pretty much that. So, all right. Let me give you a little more context. So people are indifferent with this one because, well, when she was making her assessment, when she was making her assessment, it came off to the general public that she chose her husband based on the fact that all of her past experiences eventually told her it's time for her to settle down and to pretty much go in the opposite direction of what she's typically attracted to. That's what the interpretation was. You spent most of your life, you spent most of your life sleeping with specific dudes that pretty much weren't and et cetera, et cetera. They were Pookies and Tyrones. Now you hit a certain age, you decided, oh, now I'm going to settle down and I got me, et cetera, et cetera. And the people came for in the comment section, they weren't really too pleased with that. So this was the initial post and her response to that. What are your thoughts on the clip? And did you see anything that the people didn't see?
I think first off, when it comes to me, the way I interpret it, she made her decision for her husband with logic. Like, she came at it more unemotionally. And I think that's where some people are bothered, because generally the whole narrative in society is that, like, oh, you fall in love and you have all these feelings and whatever. But that's not the most important part, because getting your, like, knowing that your partner is not going to put you in debt, or knowing your partner isn't going to do things to you that are awful, or knowing that your partner is somebody that would actually stay there for you and be there for you. And to me, it sounds like she was probably used to men that didn't treat her very well, or she probably had a string of bad relationships or things didn't work out. And so she was like, you know what, I'm going to try somebody safe that's not like this extraordinarily manly man or whatever people idolize. But it was a real person, and it appears it worked out for her because she didn't say she was divorced or anything. And I understand that because I somewhat did that with my husband, where we met on a dating site, but I picked him because, or like I was interested in him because he was very different than any of the people that I had dated before. Like I dated before very white bread, boring guys. Like they were the type that didn't know how to hold a conversation, and they were either obsessed with themselves or they had like emotional issues. Um, and I was tired of that. And so with McKinley, the thing that drew me to his profile is he had a picture of himself doing a backflip on the beach. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. Um, and it obviously it worked out. Like we're going on 11 years, and he was a choice that I would have never made in the past, but I had such bad luck that I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try something different and see what this does. Because I can tell you right now, having a person, at least with myself and all that I love to do, if I'm with somebody who's, for lack of a better word, stupid, I go crazy. I can't do it. I really can't do it because I can't talk to you, and I'm always having to answer questions about like, well, what is it? I don't get it. Stuff like that, and I can't do it. So yes, I vote for dating the nerd.
Straight up. Shout out to the nerds, man. Ah! It's a win for us today because I'm a nerd. I think school saved my life. If it wasn't for school, I wouldn't be. I can tell you that wholeheartedly. Even to my raps, a friend of mine was like, yo, we heard enough of the school stuff. You got to go back to the streets and get it popping. Tell them stories. But at the end of the day, school is it taught me how to think. Every book took me to somewhere I wasn't never before. Every book, boring or not, even if I ain't read the whole thing, the first chapter or two, the last page took me somewhere that I wasn't thinking about. So I appreciate that. But there's why it's hard to navigate putting your relationship on social media, first of all, and telling your business, because I don't know. Remember, we in this new thing where everybody feel like they got to say so. I guess especially if you were influencer. I don't know what it's like to get paid yet, but I can imagine how messy that could get real quick once you start depending on that cash. So if I don't know if she's an influencer or not, she's got a fan base or not. I know she's famous, already, but she married a pediatrician. Who wouldn't want that? Especially if he's loyal, faithful. It don't matter what it is. You just want somebody that's gonna treat you good. But here you got somebody that's got longevity in the game, and at the end of the day, there's nothing wrong with being smart. He's doing stuff that a lot of people can't do, including myself. And if you hate on him for being a pediatrician, then we got it all backwards. Because I tell my students every day lately, for like the last 2-3 months, that you got people that want to make a lot of money, and then you got people that don't care about making a lot of money. But if you want to make a lot of money, you got to be able to answer the questions that nobody else can answer. And her husband can in 2 ways. He got a baddie, and he got a career that he'll be able to do for the rest of his life. he'll make triple the money with the athletes and the actresses, and he don't have to. He might have to code switch because we know how this place is, but at the same time, he don't have to change who he is to get it. So I'm with the nerds.
There was one comment that was made in another video that was separate from this, and I want to highlight that real quick. When she's responding to the general public, she's responding to individuals who are, in her eyes, attacking her sexual history. But what she's really doing is avoiding acknowledging the fact that what she was doing was, to me, creating a issue that didn't need to be at the expense of her husband. Because my thing was, if this is your way of trying to uplift him or say, well, hey, nice guys finished last, or you're trying to say, well, I traded up and I got the creme de la creme, the best of the best. This was not the way to do it. This approach was trash, and it comes off as if you were kind of dumping on him and you're not acknowledging it. You basically said, in my own eyes, every guy that I was with before you was my type. You only came along because I got tired of getting dogged out. I don't want to get abused mentally and emotionally. I can't convert these guys into being what I want them to be. So I'm just going to go ahead and settle for the safer route. And that is what she's ignoring. That's what she's not trying to address. Your style and your approach was absolutely horrible. I know damn well my wife better not ever represent me like that. Don't ever get on camera and say, oh, well, from the time I was 18 to 35 or whatever, I was out here getting my ankles wrapped around the back of my head by whoever was 6'3", 220 pounds. And I just got tired of it. So one day I seen him working at Target and I fell in love. And it wasn't, because to me, the shit sound like you're saying, well, it wasn't his looks, it wasn't his attitude, it wasn't his personality. It sounded like you saying to me, well, he's stable. I know women ain't going to be all in his face. I know he's not going to be out here with a million different numbers in his device. Let me go ahead. I done had my fun out here in the street. Nobody cares about the fact that you did all of that. I mean, people care about your past and your history, but did you really feel the need to put that? I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna stop. You didn't address the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is you told people to date the nerds as if dating one who's intelligent or emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically sound. You're telling women that it's okay to be cognizant and actually be with somebody who is actually stable, as if the other option was ever better. I yield the mic.
I can definitely see that point, because I did, from the way she talked about it, she seemed to be exuding some amount of regret. She didn't quite seem comfortable with her choice. She made it seem like that was her last option, or I'm not sure. I could tell that she still had some dissatisfaction with her choice, and it it kind of seemed like she was kind of like what you said, saying like, oh, well, I redeemed my past by like taking on this relationship. So yeah, I can definitely see why people would have an issue with what she said, because it wasn't really what she said per se. And in some cases it was wording, but it was really how she portrayed it, like her behavior, her voice, how she, the emotions she was giving off. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I don't know if that made sense.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Deep, with the because that was my first thought. But at the same time, man, the things that we glorify, especially in the community right now, she said, yo, she got a smart dude, man. And he's smart. You know what I'm saying? I don't if he got a sense of humor, he ain't gonna say nothing, because in the community, in our community, at the end of the day, they'll celebrate, somebody from coming home from jail quicker than they'll celebrate the pediatrician. So if anything, he probably get it from his own family. So, they didn't really take that too much, because while he clocking and getting that paper, now I can see what you're saying from an economic standpoint too. But as a teacher, that's what you want. You know what I mean? I don't know, because you could be high up or super smart and be a piece of crap. So I don't know their relationship enough to be, I mean, off one minute. But at the end of the day, you know, that's what you want. Like if you if you had a daughter, you would want her to marry a pediatrician over a gangster or a dope boy. If you had you know what I'm saying? If you had children with her or something, you rather her. So now I could see what you saying too, to where the garbage man is lit too, just as important. Um, the carpenter, the plumber, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they all smart people, super smart, and they answer questions again that I can't. So, I don't know exactly where she was going with it, but at the end of the day, she's happy, he's happy. That's all that matters. And that's a case to where you got to be watching what you put on here, because I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know, first of all, if you got time to hate, if it's not constructive, if you flat out just got time to get on here and hate, boom, 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 you're walking. Because I have to catch myself doing it too. Sometimes I see a post and I get riled up and I want to say something. Definitely 5-10 years ago when I started getting on social media, I used to see stuff, have a quick little temper tantrum, post on anything catch you real quick, you got something. But at the end of the day, if it's not constructive, then you hating, you know what I'm saying? And then if you hating, you wasting time. Like, what do it matter what people put? This shows me right now that to a certain extent, everybody need attention and everybody wants, and this gave us the lane for us to get it. Like, everybody is a superstar in their own right, and everybody is trying to put it out in their own way. So she posted, she got the attention. You know what I'm saying? And shout out for the smartphone. I'm still always ride, because that's what I'm teaching. Like, I'm telling the kids, like I've been telling the kids last week, all week, it's easier to become a nuclear engineer than it is to become NBA YoungBoy. It's easier to become an aerospace engineer than it is to become D.L. Hughley. You know what I'm saying?
Bang, bang,
Um, so with that, we, hopefully they solving problems in real life. And hopefully he is. And again, hopefully they happy, because at the end of the day, she can say and do what she want on her platform.
Yeah, there's no shade, no knock. My thing is like, okay, you are the daughter of famous comedian D.L. Hughley. I already know off the break, you got a following. I don't know your background. I don't know what you do outside of being his daughter.